around $200. Now pull over so you can download the Upside app before we miss the concert.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code 2024 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank, PayPal, or as a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code 2024 for 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code 2024 for 25 cents per gallon bonus. That's code 2024.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WVLQ Port St. Joe. Powered by Panama City Toyota.
And that's out of the ballpark.
ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Rise and shine, campers. It's a brand new day.
What a lovely morning.
Good morning, starshine.
You seem happy this morning.
Good morning, everybody. Thanks for coming in early.
The Coach James Hale Show is live and local. Live from the J. Michael Studio. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hot tub! Whoa! Do you dance, Wildcat? Do you dance, man? Get ready. Let go, baby. Let him go. Keep playing. Keep playing. Rock and roll.
We'll be playing for 2 more hours.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really make me sweat.
Yeah.
Still in the hot tub.
Yeah.
Really make me wet.
Yeah.
Well.
I still think we got to have Jeremy come on stage when he's getting ready to preach with that going. Everybody waving him down. He dressed up in gold. Everybody wake.
That'd be good for him to head towards the pulpit on.
Yeah, I'm telling you, that would make national news. That'd be cool.
You can walk up behind him with a cape.
There you go.
Hey, when I go to this church, they won't let me get near the stage. I tried to walk up. Tommy grabbed me by the ankles and would not let me go any further.
Well, they want lightning to hit, mother.
I bet you James will have a heart attack. Jeremy said, James, won't you come up here and say a few words?
I would. I would. I really would, seriously.
He'd probably turn and run out of the door.
I'd duck right up between you and Louise. Anyway, it's a beautiful Thursday. Coach Glenn Manley, Dr. Manley's in the building. Glenn, how you doing?
I'm doing wonderful.
You looked even greater. You look greater today than you did yesterday.
I know, a little glow in my...
You look good. Your color's good. You look good. You feeling okay?
I do.
Good job.
So
good job. Wildcat, you okay?
I'm good. Glenn bought me some cornbread with
You notice how he did not even mention to give me anything?
You said you're on a diet.
I am, Bill.
Yeah, there you go. That's a good one. Go ahead.
Well, I mean,
keep that one.
Just cornbread with a little Cajun seasoning and some ham in there. And
that's some good cooking right there. Glenn does a good job.
He sent me pictures of it. I've been waiting. I've been waiting since yesterday.
Now, we got a state Hall of Famer in the building, Tommy Santamont, County AD for 23 years, a legend here at Northwest Florida. Tommy, how you doing?
Good.
And you brought in one of your favorites, one of mine, the mouth of the South, the one and only Dusty Rose. Dusty. Jeremy Pridgeon out of Montgomery. Who was I telling you about you? And they, oh, yeah. You're popular. I mean, people know you. Yeah, you are. Yeah.
That's the first time I've ever seen him without something to say.
Is that from you being the preacher or being from Weaver?
Well, he was at the church in Montgomery, Alabama.
Right.
And Pat Garner passed away. I don't know if you knew Coach Garner and Pat Garner.
Yeah.
You know, Pat, when we grew up together, Pat finally passed away from cancer.
Sorry to hear that.
Went to his funeral. This was a while back, and I forgot to tell you, but anyway, a lot of people, people knew who you were.
A lot of good folks up there.
Yeah, great people at Montgomery.
You didn't follow Cy Matheson, though, did you?
No, but he still walks around Panama City.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Speaking of Montgomery,
that's Tommy's Sunday school class.
Have you seen Coach Turk this summer?
He was down this past weekend. Yeah.
You tell him I said hello. I will. I love that man. You're talking about a great football coach.
Mama's doing well too. You know, Coach Turk's dad passed away earlier this year, and so it's all Jan, and all things considered.
I think he'll eventually retire down here.
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
I don't care. He's at Huntington, but I'm telling you what, you can put him anywhere, he'd win huge. He is a big time football coach. He's been around great ones. He knows what he's doing. We used to take our kids. We'd take the entire team up there to Huntington and go to his football camp. It was so good. They did a great job teaching, and I can't say enough good things about him. He's a great guy. Won the state championship with Billy Livens. Jeff Davis was a quarterback for Billy. I don't know if you ever met Billy. He was at Vero Beach when they beat Mosley for the state championships. They won one in Alabama, won one in Florida. Mike, his son, and I played together at Southern Mississippi. Then Rick Rhodes, our junior high coach at Floyd in Montgomery, coached Turk at Troy, and they won the national. He was head coach at Troy, won the national championship there. So Turk's nothing but a winner, no doubt about that. All right, Gulf Coast Jam is officially kicking off today. We got some announcements for you. I'm not going to go through all of them, but I will say a few things I want you to know. Back Beach Road, they will be crossing Back Beach Road, heading towards Fred Brown Park, where the concert will be held. So we're asking everyone to be patient. They do a pretty good job at big events now. Be patient.
What are you laughing at, Tommy?
They don't need me out there to be patient.
Do not let Tommy in that big truck, big Ford truck out there.
It's not, patient is not a word,
If you see a red one and you see somebody getting run over, that's Tommy in his FSU truck doing it. But anyway, be very careful. There are going to be different places to park. They're shutting down certain roads. There's going to be a lot of traffic. We know that. Do not drink and drive. You're going to be there having a really good time. If there's somebody there with you that's not drinking, let them drive. They got all kinds of shuttles going on. Be safe. Have a wonderful time. But the volume of traffic is going to be absolutely crazy this weekend. And this brings in huge amount of revenue for the people here in Bay County, Panama City Beach. So be patient, have fun, and be safe.
Tommy told me he had his patience tested recently and came back negative.
That's right.
That's true. It's very true.
I like that one.
How's that make you feel?
It makes me feel good. What I find out, most people can't drive as good as me.
That's true. That is true.
It's always somebody else.
That's right.
He drives really well. I tell you what, I've seen him and Louise walk a mile in nothing, bound back, because he wouldn't drive. We were at someplace in Mississippi having a good time, and I remember y'all walked all the way down the other end of the street. Well, I don't know the name. It's 98, but I forgot what the main right there. I
we was walking down to the cemetery down there. He
was visiting, see how old the oldest guy was in there.
Well, my grandfather's buried there, my great-grandfather.
Yeah.
And grandmother.
You want to tell about
and several relatives.
Thank you. You ruined my train of thought. But
I was walking.
It was hot. It was humid, but they truly did. They walked a long way.
We did.
We drove. We just had to walk down this drive, go pick them up. Anyway, have a great time at Gulf Coast Jam. We gave away 12 tickets yesterday, and I was supposed to save 2 more. So if anybody would like to give back to, I need 2 more. If you want to just drive in and give me back your Rudy's card.
I know what my daughter and son-in-law will sell you to.
No, I won't. I gave away free ones. I want somebody. All you politician friends of mine, if you're listening, you've got 2 extra ones free. Let me know. They're actually not for me, but someone called and said, "There's any way you can get 2 more."
You got such a big heart, Coach. You're trying to get.
As long as it doesn't cost me, I got a big heart.
What's the parking situation? Do you know anything? This is my first. This is my first jam.
Well, I tell you what you do. Don't worry about where it say don't park. Just go park. Go have a good time. Come back.
Go park where? That's what I'm asking. I don't even know where to park.
Just about right there on Back Beach Road. Just pull off the side, walk in, close your gate.
Somebody will take care of your vehicle.
Yeah. What I would do, and I
like ballet.
I'm not saying this, but what I would do, this is not for me, I would park right over there by Jason's place and walk in, say hello, leave your car there, walk across. You can go in the back way. It's a lot quicker than walk around the front of Frank Brown Park, and you're right there. And they're gonna, like I said, they'll have shuttles going on. But that's where I would park.
Yeah, I got Jason's phone
but not
number.
everybody else. That's just because we know Jason.
Yeah, I got his phone number.
Yeah, he'll let you do that.
Let me give you.
Yeah, they gave me the streets that are closed and stuff like that, but I don't want to do all that.
How much are the tickets for that?
My God,
aren't they really expensive?
Yeah, it's real expensive. It's a 4-day event. It's not like a 1 day. It's pricey. Mm-hmm. Glenn and I, we gave them away yesterday, and the phones were blowing up. Yeah. I mean, we could have gave away 1,000. It's sold out. It's completely sold out. Who came in? Sheila
and
Sheila
Travis.
came in, and her kids went to Arnold. And her husband would go, and her husband called in right when she got on, wanted the song being played. It's A Man's World by James Brown.
Begged me for it.
Let her know who's in charge.
Oh gosh,
she didn't take kindly to that.
I imagine she probably kept the tickets and
Sheila listens to this every day.
Yeah,
she said,
I love Sheila. She's a great girl, man. And we had two other came in later when we were out here. We left her. They got everything right. I'm sure they did.
Yeah.
David said he'd take care of it.
Travis came in.
Travis came in, and you know what I did? I'm giving them. I had to find the Rudy cards. I had to give them my own because Randy wasn't here. Not the stations, my own personal one. So I gave them mine, and they're waiting and waiting. I said, I got to go. And they go, what about the tickets to the concert? I said, well, Wildcat didn't give you? He goes, he didn't have them. I said, oh, my God, where are they? I had them right here the whole time. They gave them to me that morning. I forgot I had them. So I came back here and got them and took them and gave them to him. I was freaking out. I said, what did we do?
Charter Senior Living, here we go.
We're in the fourth quarter. The clock is running. There's no more timeouts. It is what it is.
He's almost to the 2-minute warning.
Mercy rule.
Glenn, do you got anything local at all? Anything?
No, there's just a lot of things going on.
Did you say you got that baseball camp going on?
Yeah, the baseball. I'm sure. Yeah, the Ripon baseball camp's going on Saturday at Public Sports Park, and it's from 6 to 14-year-olds. It's softball and baseball. It's free. Just register at 8, and then go out there from 9 to 12, and they'll have hitting, batting, throwing, and some other things. So it'll be worthwhile to get out there, especially since it's free. But they're just wanting to do that, and it's sponsored by Ripken softball and baseball, and also Gatorade. So get out there and enjoy it.
Yeah, and that's thank them for doing that.
Yep.
I asked, did you ever get up Comrade yet?
I did.
Okay. I'm trying to get Leighton Bell start golf early. And we won the Ron Movie fundraiser golf tournament. I forgot the official name of it, but I call it the Ron Movie golf tournament by Beth. We won it. Comrade, Jason, myself. Comrade can play pretty good now. But we had a state championship golfer on our team. So she got to hit from earlier.
Taylor Moody.
Taylor Moody.
Yeah.
And she's incredible.
Yep.
She is totally incredible. So she also gives lessons. So I'm going to hire her to give Leighton individual lessons. Lorelai's only 6, and I don't know if she would want to do it or not. If she wants to, I'm going to try to get her to do it too. But just
let them get out there and swing.
Yeah. I mean, is that, do you think the age is okay?
How old was Tiger when he started?
2 months.
Yeah.
I'll get Johnny to do it, my grandson. But anyway, Lorelai Leighton spent the night last night. We had a great time. Not much sleep, but we had a really good time.
The Hale family report. Right?
Yeah, this is your Leighton and Lorelai report. And all of our great people going to that we gave away tickets. We also gave away Rudy's cards. Remember, when you guys are going to Gulf Coast Jam, it's on the way. That's the place you guys really want to go try out. And go back to the Lorelai Leighton room. Go back and look at that picture. Have you seen their picture back there? It's incredible. Jeremy's seen it, so it's pretty cool. Tommy took a picture of his and he taped it right there by their feet, so Tommy's now in there also.
That's true.
Yeah.
I like the one that makes you have stomach problems when you first come in.
That's to cleanse you out where you can eat more later on. Hey, question for you, Wildcat.
The Hale Monument.
I don't know this. This is a good question, and I don't know the answer, and you got to be careful about this. If the couples that we gave away tickets to, if they have a kid, those tickets are really expensive. I don't think they let kids in there free. Maybe they do if they're real small.
I have no idea.
So what do you do if you got?
I didn't see anything.
I don't know the answer to that. I don't know what to tell anybody. First of all, I don't think any kids need to be going to it. Myself, that's just
without ear protection.
Well, but I've seen them in there before.
Not surprised.
I'm sure. That's the reason you got a good job.
You can go to that website. There's 2 websites on those cards.
Yeah.
And, I mean, there's a plethora of information that you can just click on, and it'll answer every question.
Yeah.
I mean, I found it, but I didn't go through them all to get all the questions that I have. Because, like I said, this will be my first jam. I've just
You're going to enjoy it. You have a good time.
I'm going to have a blast.
You know, I had plethora one time, and I got shots, and it cleared it right up.
You think that worked for me?
All right, hey, Tommy, you went and visited one of our sponsors. You went down and saw David and Russ at David Adams designer jewelry.
Spit it out, Chris.
And I'm trying. Give me a second. This month, what is today anyway? I can't still know what day it is.
May 35th.
Everything's screwed up.
The 12th of November. Yeah.
I came in here Tuesday and I thought it was Monday anyway. So whatever. But Tommy, you had a great experience down there. Wonderful people. You did a great job.
John's been telling me to go down there, and I had a ring that I had to get fixed. It's like 60 years old ring.
See, Tommy's got some class. He's got
Tommy,
some bling.
Yeah,
he's got some
they
bling.
fix it, of course. All your jewelry, they had to clean it. I'm telling you, folks, if you want to go to a great place, go down there. David and Russ are unbelievably super. They're really nice people.
Fun to talk to.
David is a master jewelry. He can fix anything, can make anything. So if you want to go to a really nice local jewelry store, go down there and see them. They're great people, really great people.
That's what I love about it. It's a local. It's not some national company.
They will take care of you.
Yeah. Glenn, you've used them several times.
Right.
And John, thanks for putting me on them. It was well worth going
I'm
down
glad
there.
to do it. I like
You get
to
good
take care
deals
of
down there all the time now. You can talk to them.
Oh, yeah.
And where's that located, Wildcat?
Highway 830, Highway 77 in Lynn Haven.
Julie's birthday's coming up, so I might need to get
It's
down.
a real nice store, very clean, new,
yes.
nice, very nice.
It's in Lynn Haven too. Great place. They are wonderful people. Big football fans too. Russ is a huge 49er fan.
Right.
He's still hurting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He'll be all right.
You know what's amazing about Tommy Glenn? That Tommy, way back in the day, before I didn't know what it meant, he would have one golden earring in. I thought that was
He was
interesting.
ahead of his time.
He was,
You see the hole is still there?
Well, did you know Tommy was a basketball coach?
Yes, I knew he was an outstanding basketball coach, college basketball coach.
He was at Fort Long Beach, and I met him when I didn't tee him up. I just met him when I was calling basketball.
I teed
right
him
there
up.
in the stage where they go.
He's the one that made all them bad calls on him.
I did, but two wrongs make a right. So I mean, we do. So
y'all have a love-hate relationship. I can tell it. All right, we'll be right back. When we get back, I'll talk about some more of our sponsors. We got a great show lineup for you today. You listen to the legendary 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Tommy Centermount, Jeremy Pridgeon, Glenn Manley, and Wildcat, and Lorelei, and Layton. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
For 7 years, ESPN Northwest Florida has been your destination on the Panhandle for the Atlanta Braves.
He just blew the doors off that thing.
But our listeners are the real MVP.
Another dominating performance.
So this year, we're giving away more tickets to Truist Park than ever before. Keep listening to win family 4-packs to experience the Atlanta Braves. From ESPN Northwest Florida, PCB Hobby, Pepsi, Fairfield, Hampton Inn on Thomas, and Home 2 Suites.
Good morning. This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida. For this afternoon and evening, mostly sunny and a high of 89 with wind 5 to 10 miles per hour out of the south. Clear skies tonight, very little wind and warm near 73. Sunny and 89 tomorrow with a wind around 8 miles per hour coming out of the east-southeast. 84 and some sun in the morning, but otherwise sprinkles with a gentle breeze Saturday. This is your Thursday's weather brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Do you use the expensive blue or yellow pills to charge your sex life? Are you thinking about it? What if we can promise you the same results for less than $3 a pill? If you're paying $20 a pill for the other pills, you're getting taken to the cleaners. Our pills deliver the exact same results for less than $3. You'll save more than $16 a pill for the same results. And right now, radio callers will get 44 blue or yellow pills for $120 with free discreet shipping. You can save more than $700 off pharmacy prices. Charge your sex life now and save a ton of money. Call now and get your 44 pills and save over $700 and qualify for free shipping. Stop overpaying and call right now.
Paid for by Steel Man Pills. 800-605-1682. 800-605-1682. 800-605-1682. That's 800-605-1682.
Now back to the most dangerous radio show on the Gulf Coast. Coach James Hale. He's so dangerous, he doesn't even check his eggs at the grocery store.
Danger's my middle name.
I'm bad to the bone, honey.
2 tickets to the gun show.
We're live from the J. Michaels studio on ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back to 104.3 ESPN Northwest. If I got a text here, can you get Wildcat to play when he's really hot, his good songs that he usually does most of the time? Tell him to quit drinking so much. Wildcat, that's
he doesn't drink anymore. He just doesn't drink any less.
Good Lord, standing room only $225. Wow.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, these prices of Southern Mississippi baseball, The only school in the last 8 straight years win 40-plus games. They won 41 this year. They're going to Knoxville, Tennessee. What are their tickets going for?
Standing room only. Now $179. I found, on the secondary market.
Yeah,
I'm picking them to win that.
Tennessee, no, I'll tell you what, Tennessee, watch out. Tennessee's pretty good.
They only lost, 11 games or something like that.
I'm telling you.
So the Miss.
Yeah, I hope, to the top. I hope they win.
You're going to have to listen to the SEC hype.
I know it. I know.
Especially when
I'm pulling for Southern Mississippi.
When all 11 of them get in there, when some of them have
when they put Florida in there.
Listen, you've never heard me brag on anything. Myself, Southern Mississippi.
That's true.
Or Alabama.
SEC or Alabama. That's just it's not my... Jeremy,
what dimension are you in now is what I want to know.
James takes his old axiom, be humble and don't stumble.
There you go. Right. Thank you, Tommy. And I tell my granddaughters the same thing, be humble. Lorelei, Layton, be humble.
Mm-hmm. Crickets.
I don't know how to talk about that. I'm ready to go home. I do have something to talk about, seriously. It's going to take probably maybe 2 segments. I want you guys' input on this. I think there's some... I think he's highly intelligent in the way he worded things and what he had to say. Florida's athletic director, Scott Strickland, addressed whether or not Florida would vote for or against FSU joining the SEC. Mm-hmm. Florida State, Clemson want out of the ACC. We all know that. Will South Carolina, will Florida vote for either one of the schools to join the SEC? Florida AD was point blank asked the question. We have a great relation. We have a good relationship with our friends in Tallahassee. Yeah. Somebody from FSU recently asked me a similar question. I said, we don't have a veto vote. We can't veto no to FSU joining the SEC. You have to have 3/4 of a vote from all the members of the SEC for expansion. We did this before. We all looked at it. We all talked about. We showed financials. We all looked at it. We all thought would be good or bad. When Arkansas and South Carolina were asked to join, and we all voted yes for Arkansas and South Carolina. Then it went to Missouri and Texas A&M. And now we looked at the financial records, what it would mean to the SEC if Oklahoma and Texas came in. Big value, big time money. The SEC has been expanded. But the key word of what he said, if the 3/4 of the SEC teams members want FSU or Clemson in. Let's keep it real. Do you really believe, and it's just, I'm going to say 2 different things. Do you really and truly believe Auburn, which recruits the exact same players, Alabama, Georgia, LSU, Ole Miss, Mississippi State, all close together, and Florida, want Florida State to get an SEC, which is going to make it even more dangerous to take away the players that they're all fighting for right now? And I guarantee you, if you had a secret vote, none of them would want FSU in there. But
or Clemson.
You think South Carolina wants Clemson in? I guarantee you, there's Florida people want Georgia Tech in because the whole state of Georgia is Georgia's right now. But he was smart also because he knows he used the word value. These other teams brought value. They brought in another TV market, Texas, Missouri, South Carolina, the state of Arkansas. They already have those states now. So he knows something. He's smart the way he answered the question, what I'm getting at. I think he's tricky.
They're going to be in the Big Ten anyway, so it don't matter.
I hope not. I don't know. You got to hold your horses on that.
Wait and see.
The ESPN and ABC, they control the pocketbook. If they want, and why would they want 2 big-time football programs that people watch go to the Big Ten when you're the ESPN? You've got the whole Southeast coverage right now. Why would you want Fox in, CBS in, and everything, NBC? Why would you want them in there when you can control it? I don't think I know I've heard it the same thing. I heard the same people tell me that big money people have told me Big Ten. But I'm telling you, ESPN can make it easy on the pocketbook, them getting out of the ACC. I think the SEC, I think the ESPN is wanting them in the SEC. Why would you give up big time money? And I think sooner or later the commissioner, they're going to vote for Florida. I think these teams got to get over that. Just think about it. You're in Auburn, Alabama. That's a short drive down to Tallahassee. I mean, it is.
Oh, yeah. Fan bases love those games, too.
I look forward to that. You can imagine, they could double the size of the stadium in Tallahassee. I think that ESPN is going to be the reason they get into the SEC. I could be completely wrong.
LSU. I mean, that's right
we
down
went to
10.
New Orleans, it was packed out. I mean,
we used to play Auburn. Auburn and LSU.
That was a great season. Pat Dye was there, they played Auburn.
The only way that I think will happen is ESPN's got to come up with a lot of money because FSU hates ESPN right now. They hate them.
They'll love them for the money.
That's what they'll have to love. That's what I'm saying. They got to offer them a lot of money.
Well, let me ask you this. If ESPN can not eliminate, but cut back the amount of money they're going to owe, which they can, they own the TV networks, the
way to get out of the ACC. Yeah, that would happen.
Money talks now.
Oh,
you can hate them all you want, but you're going to save us millions of dollars. We're going to go and make millions more in the SEC. And I'm not sure the Big Ten's going to give them the equal cut. Like, they didn't give the other ones the equal cut like the original
Not
Big
the first year, they don't.
Yeah, the first couple of years they don't. So what do you think, Jeremy? Am I crazy? I think I'm on to something.
I read that same article. I saw that about.
Yeah, I hope that wasn't your FSU update.
I think you're on to something. But you know what's new? What's old is new again. You go back to 1921. You had Alabama, Auburn, Clemson, Georgia Tech, Kentucky, Maryland, Mississippi State, North Carolina State, Tennessee, Virginia Tech, Washington, Lee, Florida, LSU, Mississippi, South Carolina, Tulane, and Vanderbilt in the Southern Conference.
Yeah.
103 years ago.
Right. So now, are we going back?
I think we're going right back that direction. Washington Lee won't show up this time around.
That's right.
You know, something else that no one really ever thinks about that much? What if ACC commissioner, which he's not real good, but what if he gets with ESPN, they work a deal with ESPN to increase their money, and they keep everybody in the ACC?
They don't need the ACC.
They might.
They got the SEC.
No, but I'm saying that's the only way that FSU and Clemson will stay if the money increases. And ESPN could do that if they wanted to do it.
Will not happen.
I think the challenge for the ACC is geographical. I mean, when Syracuse and Pitt and those kind of going along, Boston College become a bit of the outliers. Where if you're in Tallahassee, are you going to go up to Chestnut Hill for the weekend? Right. Doubtful.
And Syracuse is one of the teams that FSU has to play every year.
Right.
And Miami, so you're going one extreme to the other.
And it's tough up and down the Eastern Seaboard.
Right.
I think another reason all this is going to happen, no, ESPN is not going to up the money. They don't have to. They're not going to. Why would they do that? They got them now for a certain price.
Who's in charge of the Big Ten money?
The Big Ten commissioner.
No, I mean, it's like who?
Well, they're getting paid by
CBS,
Fox, CBS. And they're smarter than we are. They own every network but ESPN and ABC. Mm-hmm. They did the right thing. We were stupid, in my opinion. And I know they're in Destin right now. Why we would give up CBS? I think we should have worked some kind of deal. Say we're going to do something.
I think they didn't like Gary Danielson enough. No, here's
the truth to that.
Here's the other thing too. ESPN has had it in for FSU ever since they started this. All right, so you look at girls softball.
Yeah.
They could have made them 14th. They could have made them 10th. They could have made them 16th. But no, they made them 15th where they had to play Oklahoma. The two teams that had to play national championship last year. All right, so they knew that FSU struggling with pitching, so we put them in the place where they won't go any further. Look what they did to the baseball team.
Yeah, Duke's over there.
But you got to look at it as business.
It is a business.
When it's business, why would you let a team that's won multiple national championships like FSU and Clemson both have done? Alabama and Clemson already have a series. It's in the national championship games. Mm-hmm. Alabama and FSU played that week one year. They're both ranked in the top four. The ratings for that game was through the roof.
The home and home next
year.
They're
not going to turn away from money like that. They make their money by big ratings. And FSU brings eyeballs to TV sets. Clemson does it. They're not. They're going to. I don't think they're going to let them get away.
Well,
That's just me.
Who does the Big 12? ESPN do the Big 12?
Fox.
Fox does it.
Yeah. Fox.
But they don't pay them hardly anything. Mm-mm. I mean, it's not. And they're not going to. Tommy, SEC is not. ESPN is not going to raise their money to the ACC. What if they don't have the value like the SEC? They got the big carrot right now. They got the big one right. All right, hold y'all's thoughts. We'll come back and talk some more about this. I'm gonna set them straight, guys. Don't worry. The people in Destin are calling. Okay, Nick. I'll do it. All right, let's talk about some of our great people. J. Michael's Restaurant, the best seafood, the coldest beer. Go check it out. Yesterday, man, lunch, you got in there about 11:15. It was already packed out. Spaghetti Day is always that way at night, same thing. World famous J. Michael's Spaghetti. Everybody's down for Gulf Coast Jam. J. Michael's will be packed out. Seafood's unbelievable. Go check it out. Ice cold beer, the legendary J. Michael's Restaurant. South Oak Town and Closing. We're talking about local people starting a company and knocking home runs with it. Chuck Tucker's done a great job. They've expanded throughout North Florida. They do a great job. 30A, they got things going on over there. Mark Cowart, one of the biggest real estate salesmen around. He uses South Oak Town and Closing. Beth Movie's the same thing. The guy's incredible. Stevenson Air Conditioning, #1. Not even close. If it breaks down anytime, day or night, you call Stevenson Air Conditioning. Another local company. Locals taking care of locals in Northwest Florida. That is Stevenson Air Conditioning. Love you, Jason. Great job by you guys. And one of Tommy's favorite places, one of Glenn's favorite place, Julie's favorite place, Charlie Corn's place, the new one on 15th Street. Daily specials. Pick out whatever meat you want. 3 sides for $11.20. You cannot beat that this day and time. The best country cooking you'll get anywhere. Homemade food is incredible. Friday night, fried fish, baked beans, cheese grits, or French fries, rolling a tea. And then Saturday, fried shrimp. Sunday, the big one. Glenn's got that grease all over his hands, his face. It's beautiful when he gets in there. Fried chicken, mashed potatoes, green beans, cream corn, roll, and a tea at the legendary Charlie Corn's place. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. FSU to the SEC. You heard it here first.
America's team plays here.
Swing and a miss. Struck him out. That's number 10.
The Atlanta Braves on ESPN Northwest Florida. Charlie Morton, Max Fried, and Chris Sale lead the Braves' dominant pitching rotation.
That's 18 up, 18 down.
Sponsored by Panama City Toyota, LS Agency Insurance, Bestway Portable Buildings, PCB Hobby, and ESPN Northwest Florida.
Got him swinging. Strike 3.
At Panama City Toyota, summer starts now. And you'll get 2.99% APR plus 90 days until you make your first payment on a new Camry. Get 2.99% on the fun-to-drive Corolla. Stand out and get 2.99% on a new RAV4. Or go bold and get 2.99% on the tough Tundra. Celebrate summer with a great deal from Panama City Toyota.
Offer expires June 3rd. Visit PanamaCityToyota.com. New ownership and brand new renovations at Bayside Marina, the one-stop shop for all your boating needs in Panama City. Boat storage, valet service boat launching, pontoon rentals, non-ethanol fuel, on-site mechanic, ice, drinks, cleaning station, live bait and tackle. Our marina store is loaded. Relax and enjoy your day on the water at Bayside Marina, Big Daddy Drive, Panama City Beach, or call 850-234-7650. That's 234-7650.
Attention homeowners, are you dreaming of a backyard oasis? Look no further than S&R Fencing, your go-to destination for quality outdoor transformations. At S&R, they specialize in crafting custom fences, decks, retainer walls, and all exterior construction that not only enhances the beauty of your home, but also stands the test of time. Their experienced team takes pride in delivering top-notch craftsmanship with a personal touch. S&R Fencing, locally owned, licensed, and insured, and a member of the BBB.
For everything in the world of golf, it's the Watson Report. Thursdays at 4:20 with Alan Watson from Golf Plus. ESPN Northwest Florida. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michael studio.
And welcome back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest. I didn't know what that was at first. Glenn knew it. Glenn probably wrote that one back.
Name that tune.
That's an old Vietnam song. Yeah, Glenn.
Glenn made that movie. Good Morning Vietnam. That was the story of Glenn Manley. All right. Again, Scott Strickland, athletic director of Florida Gators, will not outright vote no for Florida State coming into the league. Again, 3/4 of the league has a vote for them to join the SEC. And I think if that happens, he'd go along with it. No problem like that. A little bit different what Texas A&M did. Texas A&M made it clear that they wanted to be the only school, only program in the state of Texas in the SEC. and their feelings were hurt and quite upset when Texas was allowed in. They fought against it. I remember at SEC Media Days how the word broke was from a Texas A&M guy. They fought against it. They were not pleased, and there are even talks and rumors now that they might be looking into the Big Ten. I don't think that's true. I'd be shocked if it happens. But there were some bad feelings about that. They didn't think that would happen. And I'm sure Florida and South Carolina would get their feelings hurt, that the truth be known, if Florida State and Clemson are invited in. But when these ADs and presidents get together and ESPN that's paying you billions of dollars, you're going to do what they want. They'll get more money from the ESPN to let those teams in. What do? Do you truly think they go in, they have a meeting, and the first thing the commissioner's going to talk to the presidents and the athletic directors, tell them what's going on, this is what ESPN's going to do, this is how much more money we're going to make, this is the value of bringing in Clemson and Florida State, and there'll be other teams, I'm sure. We're going to do everything what the NFL's doing. Do you already see the latest thing? Cutting sports and limit the roster size. That's a big deal. I'll talk more about that in the Auburn update. That's coming. We're going to do everything the NFL does. Now, I've been told it's going to be, I thought the number should be 20 teams in the Big Ten and the SEC when it finally goes to the Super League. But Jason thinks it's going to be 24 apiece. So I don't know. Virginia is one school I keep hearing more and more about. SEC is going to go after hard, and we all know they're going to go after hard after North Carolina. And I think we're going to go after Notre Dame. I do. And I wouldn't be shocked if we get them. Some of them, they don't like Michigan. We might have a shot. I'm not sure. But anyway, getting back to that, Jeremy, I'll start with you first. If you're a president and you're hearing the numbers that ESPN is going to pay, and they're paying you now, and they want FSU in, they want Clemson in, and they're going to find a way out. They're going to cut some of the costs of them to come to the SEC than the Big Ten. And that will happen. You think ESPN is going to let them go to the Big Ten and not pay out what they got to pay out?
I struggle with that. Again, the conference has developed geographically, and that's a crucial part. I know we're talking about the television side, and that revenue side is important, but in this decision that came down last week, you listened to Greg Byrne talk about the $22 million that's now going to go to student athletes, and some of those matters that are also generated when you get people in the stadiums, in town, in the seats, buying the tickets, taking part of the so are you going to see Auburn, Florida State and pack that out, and you can charge those premium prices for tickets?
Or Indiana.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you can just pick them up off the ground.
Right.
So I think there's a delicate balance here of not just viewership, but also people coming in.
Hold your thought right. Let's take this phone call. Good morning, sir.
Hey, good morning. This is Mark.
Hey, Mark.
A couple things I want to comment on, because I read about this stuff a lot, about what you were saying, Coach. That makes a whole lot of sense about ESPN. But there is one thing. There's a lot of smoke out there that ESPN, Fox, NBC, they're all actually working together. And one thing that happened earlier, there's some horse trading going on, is what I'm saying to you.
Yeah.
One thing that happened earlier, nobody bid against ESPN for the college football playoffs. That saved ESPN a lot of money.
Yes, it did.
So if they're trying to set up a power two, is there a possibility that ESPN has told Fox, CBS, NBC, we'll let you have FSU? Because the SEC teams, as you said before, themselves don't really want them. We'll let you have them. You don't bid on this.
Good point. That's a good point. Yeah, you're right. Because you're talking big time money.
Yeah, about $1 billion, I think.
Yeah.
And I think with Florida, Florida already has to play Florida State.
Right.
The other thing is, you guys were talking about with the money, and the other part of it I was thinking about is the SEC voted against the 9-game schedule, which ESPN desperately wants them to do. What if ESPN says, all right, look, we won't push them into your conference, play the 9-game schedule.
Yeah, that could be going on. That's smart, what you're saying. I agree with what you're saying 100%.
I don't know, that's just a possibility. Because I'm like you. It makes no sense for me if ESPN is in absolute opposition to Fox. or to the Big Ten for that matter. It makes no sense for them to allow Clemson and Florida State out of their sphere, and it's so much cheaper and easier for them just to move them from the ACC, which they own, the SEC, which they own, and pay the ACC a hell of a lot less money than what they're paying them right now.
Exactly, and you made a great point. Though I did not even think about that point about the bidding for the national championship, and that would have cost them billions more, maybe billions more. That's a good point. That could be going. Another thing that made me think that my antenna went up because USC's been trying to get out of that game with LSU, and Fox did not like the idea that their first game was not going to be against a Big Ten that they could cover. So they were kind of behind the scenes hoping that would go away, but that's going to be a prime time game. I got more on that a little bit later. LSU USC is going to be on ABC, and that's ESPN. So I think you hit onto something about this backroom talking to one another, and we're all heading to the Super League. I think you're on something right there. Yeah.
And if the Super League would be a whole lot more even. It ain't going to be, but it'd be a whole lot more balanced if Clemson and Florida State win the Big Ten.
I hope.
One other point I'd like to make before I get off with you, because it's the SEC. You put Clemson and Florida State in the SEC. SEC's already the best conference.
Yeah.
You add those two, and you know. The other point I want to make, and that a lot of people miss on, there's a difference between the money you get from TV, I think, and the money you get from tickets. Yeah. If Auburn comes to Tallahassee, it makes a lot more money for Florida State that goes in their pocket and not into the conference's pocket than if Indiana comes to Tallahassee.
And they're all going to need every penny they can get now because they're going to be cutting sports, they're going to cut rosters. Things just got a lot expensive. I mean, what I think 20 million,
22 million.
And really and true, the SEC and Big Ten could do more than the other leagues.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and if Title IX legislation starts, if people start suing about that, man, they got real problems.
Oh, they got problems. They don't know. They got a big problem. I played back in the 70s, but there's going to be a big lawsuit about that. I want my millions.
I don't think they went.
Go back and look at film. I deserve it.
Right now he's up to $1.25. So
they didn't even offer me $1.
Well, you got your $15 laundry money, didn't you?
That's about it. Yeah, they want that back. Hey, you made some great points. Now the biggest point you made though was when you said Fox didn't go against them on the for the national championship. If they were behind the doors talking about that makes a lot of sense what you said.
All right, I'll let you go. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, man.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.
Great job there. Yeah.
Yeah, that was really good. But getting back to Texas A&M now, but with Texas and Oklahoma coming in, all those guys saw the value of it, so they let it happen. And Texas A&M's feelings were hurt and everything like that. To me personally, all right, Tom, we'll go with you. Jeremy, you gave your opinion. What's your opinion? You're thinking no way the SEC is going to invite them, or are you saying no way they're going to accept it?
I mean, if the money's there, like we've always said, money talks, and if the ESPN offers the FSU and them in, and with the money they're going to think, yeah, they'll probably do it. If the Big Ten backs down, because they know probably ESPN wants them, because geographically, like y'all said, Auburn, FSU playing. FSU, it's going to be sold out every time.
Well, we got Alabama opening up there next year in Tallahassee. Georgia coming in there, LSU coming in there, Ole Miss, Mississippi State.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't think
Texas.
I don't know if the SEC. I think they probably would, because they're looking at money too. I'm talking about the other teams in the SEC. They would probably do it, even though we're all recruiting the same people.
You could see where the SEC is not going to give them, for a couple of years, like the Big Ten does, the top amount of money. But ESPN will drop money on the backside, let them out that contract with the ACC.
Yeah, that's important there. That's a big deal.
That's the reason I think it's going to happen. But I tell you what, our caller had a great point there. Glenn, what do you think is going to happen?
Well, first of all, the Florida AD, they don't have the veto power, but they do have a vote for the veto power. Yep. So it still goes to the whole league. I think eventually they'll have to put them in there because to me, to travel to Indiana, that's just not just football. That's
Northwestern,
that's everything.
Maryland.
Yeah. And so if you want to go up there and play in December, that's not a good thing.
Oregon.
Yeah. UCLA.
Yeah.
I
USC.
think they will. At the ACC averaged giving each school $44 million last year. And so
pocket change.
Yeah, SEC is $51 million, but the Big Ten is
60.
60. Yeah. So I just think it serves the purpose of travel, logistics of housing and all that to be in the SEC.
As a fan, FSU fan, even though in the past you had hate towards the SEC, wouldn't you truly like to be part of it? I mean, it is the great league.
Yeah, I mean, the money's there. That's what everybody looks at these days. The money's there.
Yeah. All right, let's take a break. Go ahead.
No, the one that's on the outside looking in that could be heading toward irrelevance quickly and all this is Miami.
Right.
Oh, you're right.
Oh, yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
Now, Jim and Jason talked about it. They talked about there you always look at the TV markets, and they think that Miami would get in the Big Ten because of the TV markets. Academics outstanding, and you got South Florida. The Big Ten wants in the South big time. They want in the South, and we need to keep them out.
They may be the one.
If we're going to have the Super League, it's going to be like a Super Bowl of college football. Don't we want the best teams? Don't we want Florida State and Clemson? They can bring us a championship here. I think we got to. I understand from a coach's point. If I was coaching Alabama, Georgia, Florida, somewhere like that, I wouldn't want them in.
No, that's what I
mean. I wouldn't. It's just too much competition. You want to get fired, they bring them in.
I mean, would they?
But you got to do what's best for the league.
Would they vote against them though? That's the problem.
Kirby's not scared of anybody. The greatest coach in college football, Kirby Smart, not scared of anybody. My hero.
You don't have to be scared of him.
He'll play anybody, anywhere, anytime.
Right.
What was the score last year?
Heard that before.
Anyway, let's talk about some of our great people. Dr. Chad Mitchell, any type of injury, call Chad. You can listen to him every Monday right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. El Rodeo, Tequila Bar and Grill. Will Glenn show up tonight and dance? We're not sure. We are not sure. Hey, Coop Moss might be there
Glenn
tonight.
show up in his pants?
When Glenn shows up, his pants always hang down real low.
Hey, come on now.
El Rodeo, Tequila Bar and Grill. Buy one, get one free. Great Mexican food right across the street from Davy Base. We're talking about small draft beers, small margaritas, and house wine. So if you're here for the jam, you want Mexican food, it's El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill. Tell David Coach sent you in there. Rudy's Barbecue on Bat Beach Road. Go check it out. You'll love it. They got the best barbecue, the best turkey, the best everything. Rudy's Barbecue. Tommy uses them all the time. Glenn uses them all the time. Newbies, 3 great locations. Newbies 2 on the Curve. Go watch the baseball games. The Mothership, the best bands in the Southeast. It was packed out last night. People are in town. They're getting ready for Gulf Coast Jam. And after the Gulf Coast Jam, guess where everybody heads? To Newbies. Go have a great time down at Newbies. Tell them Coach sent you. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida is celebrating 7 years of broadcasting history by giving you a chance to win the Atlanta Braves 7-year send-off.
That is gone!
Starting Monday, June 3rd. Listen weekdays at 7:40, 12:40, and 5:40 to qualify for the grand prize. 2 amazing tickets in the Xfinity Club to see the Atlanta Braves Saturday, September 7th versus the Toronto Blue Jays. Plus hotel and spending cash from ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida. For this afternoon and evening, mostly sunny and a high of 89 with wind 5 to 10 miles per hour out of the south. Clear skies tonight, very little wind and warm near 73. Sunny and 89 tomorrow with a wind around 8 miles per hour coming out of the east-southeast. 84 and some sun in the morning, but otherwise sprinkles with a gentle breeze Saturday. This is your Thursday's weather brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Los Rancheros has been doing it right for 20 years. Los Rancheros brings a top-shelf dining experience to you with the opening of their beautiful new building. Watch all college and pro games on Los Rancheros' 14 large-screen TVs with great drink specials daily from 2 to 5 and during all the games. Los Rancheros, the place for live sports and great food on 23rd Street between Jenks and Harrison.
That Boot Store has the perfect Father's Day gift for that special dad. Select from one of the largest collections of Western wear and Carhartt work clothes in the Panhandle. That Boot Store has been in business for 60 years and feels they've just begun. Shop That Boot Store this Father's Day and every day. Open Tuesday through Thursday, 9 till 5. Friday and Saturday, 9 till 5:30. Next to Bill Burr Kia, 15th Street, Panama City. That Boot Store where God is good all the time.
ESPN Northwest Florida. The tradition continues.
Lots of force on this one. Hello, Chop House. A 2-run homer.
Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michael Studio.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Florida State, Florida State, Florida State. Woo! Come on to the SEC. You are welcome. We want you. The smart people in the SEC do. Anyway, FSU update as talked about. John Charlotte love them. They always giving back to community. Charlotte love her to death. Beautiful lady, inside and out. Get out, newbies, have a great time. The best bands in the Southeast. You're going to have a great time this weekend. After Gulf Coast Jam, head on down. Keep on partying down at Newbies. They're going to be open really late, and you're going to have a really good time. Every year Gulf Jam is going on. After the show, you wouldn't believe the amount of people show up. It's like everybody leaves there, and everybody heads to Newbies. And so will you. LSU, Jeff is on the phone. I don't know if he wants to talk about Lincoln Riley trying to, behind the scenes, trying to get out of playing LSU. They lost their athletic director at USC. The new one comes in. He actually tried to get a coach, Buddy, the mutual friend with Kelly, to talk to him behind the scenes. Let's get out of this thing. Brian Kelly said, no way. Big time money. Both schools going to make about $5 million. Fox didn't want it to happen because they wanted their first game of USC to be on their network against a Big Ten team, and it's not going to happen. They're not going to get away. You can't run from, you can't hide from LSU Fighting Tigers. LSU, Jeff, what are you doing, brother?
Oh, not much. Just enjoying a day off. Going to hit the beach today.
All right, good. You deserve it. You work hard.
Yep, you're right about that.
What do you got for me?
I was shocked that they came out with the spreads yesterday for the first week of college football. 6.5
LSU over USC.
They got them by 7. I was shocked. But what I was more shocked at was Georgia's 13-point favorite over Clemson.
Ohio State, Michigan, that last game of the year, Buckeyes are -10.
Wow.
Yeah.
They're already doing that? That's in November.
Yeah. I know. It's crazy,
but
man.
Here's a shocker of the first week, though. Hurricanes, 3.5-point favorite over the Florida Gators in Gainesville.
I can see that.
Wow, 3.5 for the Hurricanes.
Yeah. The thing about Florida, the way and I'm one of them. Nobody gives them a shot to do anything. Everybody says he's a dead man walking. It won't shock me if they surprise everybody and have a decent year, because everybody thinks it's dead and gone. The players are motivated over that.
Is it decent? Is it 7-5 or is it 8-4?
I go with the ball coach. He said 8-4. Steve Spurrier said that.
In Florida?
Yeah.
I thought more like 4 and 8.
You and most people, yeah. No,
I think most people are having it 5 and 7, and a few have them at 6 and 6.
Yeah. Well, we talked to Marvin Cloud yesterday. Glenn and I talked to him yesterday, and we both said we've watched games last year when Florida didn't show up, didn't give an effort, didn't play hard. If that team shows up, they'll win 4 games. If they show up and play old Florida football and play every snap hard as they can, they could win 7-8 games next year. So who knows?
Well, Florida's always had speed, but Miami had speed back in the days, and that's where their bread and butter is. Not big guys on the line knocking everybody over and everything. So, are y'all going to Tallahassee Baseball Regional this weekend? Huh?
We're live from there right now. Have you been listening? We're at Tallahassee right now. No, I'm kidding. No, we're not going to go.
We're working on the infield.
Hey, let me tell you something. You're LSU fans in Hoover, Alabama. This is 2 years where I've been back to back. They take over the place. They're incredible. I'm changing everything I said in the past. The best fan base in any sport, football, basketball, I don't know about basketball, football, baseball, it's LSU. Their fans are incredible. They travel. They're incredible.
Well, they're allowed to. They're allowed.
They are allowed.
Yeah. They're not like you.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Some of them are crazy. Well, I'm crazy. Actually, you know what? Let me tell you, I had work one time They gave me Saints tickets, and it was like a group outing with work. And I'm like a different person when I'm at a football game. And I think they were kind of like shocked, like how loud I can get. Because I lose my voice sometimes in the third quarter.
Yeah. That's Coach Hale when he's on the sidelines.
Yeah.
So.
Yelling at you across the field.
Yeah,
no. But I think that LSU got a good pull in that regional going to Chapel Hill. I think we have a good shot at winning that, which before, I would have said, they're going to put us in with somebody good. I'm not really impressed with UNC. I think LSU can pull it out, but going to a super regional, I don't think that we're going to be good enough to get out of a super regional. But Alabama, Florida State would be really interesting on Saturday for sure.
Yeah, I was not impressed with Alabama and Hoover.
Alabama,
South Carolina was hitting the ball pretty good though the whole time.
FSU and Stinson is going to be pretty big too.
But last year, if you remember correctly, a lot of those SEC teams were resting their people in the SEC regional. Their SEC tournament because they wanted to be ready and rested for the regionals, and it worked out for most of those teams that rested.
Yeah, I hear that, but then I go to the park and watch them play. They're playing hard. They want to win. I don't know. I understand about the pitching. I get you, but I don't know.
You go deep into your staff over the course of a week. I mean, and we talked about this a little bit when you were out, Coach. Some of the things are playing with urgency because they are playing to get in. If they're in that single elimination round, there's no tomorrow. You're Tennessee, you're in. Arkansas, you're in. Georgia. I mean, so how much do you put into it?
Yeah.
When you know the one you want is starting the next week.
Right.
So.
Yeah, it's interesting. I was watching this clip about South Carolina when they were doing the announcement thing for the regionals, and they cheered when they pulled NC State, and then they cheered even louder when they saw Vanderbilt, I think at Clemson, are in the same regional. They clapped louder for somebody else getting screwed.
The American way. A lot of people clapping in New York then, if that's true.
Yeah.
Hey, let me ask you this, and we got to get you off.
Yep.
All right. They had the pick of the game. And ABC, they thought this was the best draw. Big eyeballs, big money, big ratings. They wanted USC, LSU. You got that early games, man. You had Georgia, Clemson they could have picked, Notre Dame, Texas A&M, Miami, Florida. But they wanted it. And again, people were upset. Fox didn't want that to happen. They wanted the first big-time game for USC to be against a Big Ten team, and they're covering it. But ABC and CBS got it. What did you think about Lincoln Riley wanting to get out of the contract? They said it's been going on for 2 years. USC's been trying to get out. The Vegas Bowl said, no way. We got a contract. We want you here. LSU said, no way. We're going to play you. And not only does LSU have USC, they also got UCLA this year. So what did you think about them wanting to get out? They didn't want any part. I get it now. I understand where Lincoln Riley's coming from. You got to play at Michigan. You got to play Wisconsin. You got to play Penn State. They're in the Big Ten. They got Notre Dame. They're in the Big Ten now. They're playing in the big boy league now. I get it. And then add LSU. I understand why they wanted out. I understand why the head coach wanted out of that contract. But what did you think about that? Did it surprise you?
No, I think it's chitter chatter, and I think if anything, it's going to motivate USC. And if you watched USC in that bowl game that they had, that quarterback came in there for Caleb Williams, who was sitting out, and he lit him up for like 6 touchdowns. I mean, USC's offense is going to be like Florida State's offense was against LSU last year when they scored 45 points. I don't think LSU is going to cover 7 points in the spread.
Depends on that defensive front. That's their weakest point. They got one starter that's got 50 snaps. The rest of them don't. They didn't get the kid they wanted. Oklahoma got him. We will see. Coach, hey, Jeff, we got to go. Call us tomorrow if you want to, but thank you for calling, buddy.
All right, thanks a lot.
All right, buddy. LSU Jeff. Tommy, FSU update. Been brought to you by Newbies. You guys, Newbies, have a great time. We'll do it a little bit later. Right now, let's talk about some of our great people. Dr. Ward went to his office yesterday. He did a great job. Got to go back on the 12th. The guy's incredible. Everybody, 1 in 5 develop skin cancer. Doesn't look right, feel right. Go get checked out. 5 minutes can save your life. And I went in there thinking, as I did, I got something, and he'll take care of it. Max Fit Sports Nutrition. Jason Kovaleski will be with us tomorrow. You want to look better, feel better. Glenn, what's your favorite thing you get from there?
The joint boost.
Yeah, it boosts you, doesn't it?
For old timers, I tell you what.
After he takes a sip of that, he bounces around like a bunny. It's unbelievable.
I need some
Max Fit Sports Nutrition #1. And one of Glenn's other favorite place, Paparazzi Gourmet Deli.
Yep.
This is a true story. Tommy, Louise, me, Julie, Vandergrift's there. Glenn walks in. John, the owner, goes, hey, I got all this stuff and y'all can have it. So we think we got a box of food. We think we're going to eat there. We look up. Glenn's leaving with the box in his truck.
2 boxes.
2 boxes. Am I kidding or not?
Yep.
I said, Glenn. He goes, well, he gave it to me. What?
That's right.
It's good stuff, wasn't it?
Yeah, for about a week and a half. It was great.
Best pizza, bakery, deli. They got it all. Paparazzi right there on Thomas Drive. Go check it out. If you're over in Lynn Haven, get out to B4 Braves. Hey, Pat does a great job as city commissioner. They had a big day yesterday over there. On Wednesday, they get 10 wings and a side for $9.99. They got the 10 for 10 going every single day. Get to B4 Braves. Have a wonderful time. We'll be right back. 104.3 Jerry Pridgeett, Alabama. Then we'll get FSU in Auburn. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
FSU's going to take about
ESPN Northwest Florida is celebrating 7 years of broadcasting history by giving you a chance to win the Atlanta Braves 7-year send-off.
That is gone!
Starting Monday, June 3rd. Listen weekdays at 7:40, 12:40, and 5:40 to qualify for the grand prize. 2 amazing tickets in the Xfinity Club to see the Atlanta Braves Saturday, September 7th versus the Toronto Blue Jays. Plus hotel and spending cash from ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida. For this afternoon and evening, mostly sunny and a high of 89 with wind 5 to 10 miles per hour out of the south. Clear skies tonight, very little wind and warm near 73. Sunny and 89 tomorrow with a wind around 8 miles per hour coming out of the east-southeast. 84 and some sun in the morning, but otherwise sprinkles with a gentle breeze Saturday. This is your Thursday's weather brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Hello, this is Rick Vossen with RV of Panama City, your local Stormore portable building dealer, located at 2241 East Baldwin Road. Shopping for a garage, portable building, cabin? We build them anywhere from 8 to 16 foot wide, 10 feet to 60 feet long. We can do insulation, electricity, transom dormers, thermal windows. Come, let's customize a building together. Rick Vossen, Stormore Portable Building Dealer, Panama City.
WPLQ Port St. Joe, WGSX Lynn Haven. Powered by Panama City Toyota.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
At Panama City Toyota, summer starts now. And you'll get 2.99% APR plus 90 days until you make your first payment on a new Camry. Get 2.99% on the fun-to-drive Corolla. Stand out and get 2.99% on a new RAV4. Or go bold and get 2.99% on the Tough Tundra. Celebrate summer with a great deal from Panama City Toyota.
Offer expires June 3rd. Visit PanamaCityToyota.com.
From the Vortex Springs to the Bear Paw Canoe Trail. From Shell Island to 30A. We're your home for live sports. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michael Studio. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Roll. Alabama updates brought to you by Stevenson Air Conditioning. One of the finest men I know, one of the most honest guy I know. That's Stevenson Air Conditioning. Make sure you don't make any mistakes and go to some national company. Go with locals here in Northwest Florida. That is Stevenson Air Conditioning. Call them anytime, day or night. They're there for you. They'll be there and they'll fix any problem with your heating and cooling. Get it serviced right before summer, which is now, and also right before winter. Lasts longer, runs better, saves you money. Stevenson Air Conditioning, #1. Not even close. All right, Jeremy, what you got for us today on the mighty Crimson Tide of Alabama?
All right, we've been talking TV, viewership. We've been talking ESPN, so pop quiz for y'all. What is the most watched women's super regional game in ESPN history?
Alabama, Oklahoma.
Wrong.
Alabama, Oklahoma, Texas.
This past weekend, Alabama, Tennessee, 14 innings.
Right.
Oh, that's true.
Oh, did you say most watched?
Most watched.
It was the most watched?
Most watched. 1.08 million viewers, making it ESPN's most watched regional.
They can miss the first 7 and then see the next.
See the next 7.
That's crazy.
Well, you think about it. You got 6 million people in Tennessee. You got 5 million people in Alabama.
That's all watching.
And you want television sets on, put those two playing. And it does not matter what it is.
Right.
You know. I jokingly talked about the importance of that Alabama-Tennessee game, but if you want TV sets on, those two states will tune in, and then because everybody else is just kind of curious about it, you'll watch it. So, but Alabama's ladies went to Knoxville, pulled off the upset in the Super Regional. That was the 3 seed playing the 14 seed in an intra-conference Super Regional, and Alabama punches their ticket to go to Oklahoma City.
UCLA?
Yeah, play UCLA, and that starts today in the Women's College World Series.
At 11 o'clock, right?
Early game here. So the brackets have been set for the Women's College World Series. You've got Alabama, UCLA in the early first game of the day. Duke, Oklahoma, in the other part of that bracket. Oklahoma won their super regional against Florida State. Duke went to Columbia and beat Missouri. And then on the other side, Texas and Stanford. Texas beat Texas A&M. We talked about Texas A&M. The Aggies were sent to Austin in the super region or for the regionals. In baseball, we'll talk about later. The Aggies are being sent to Austin. So whether Texas A&M wants to play them or not, people are arranging opportunities for them to play.
That's right.
And then Oklahoma State and Florida in the other bracket. So the seeding worked perfectly in the second bracket, but a lot of great softball coming up. And Alabama, I give them credit. After Montana Fouts graduated last year, I really wondered if this team could claw back, but if you did not see what Kayla Beaver, the senior transfer from Central Arkansas, did over the weekend, she threw 67 pitches in the first game, came back and threw 165 pitches in that 14-inning game, and then came in and closed it out to get the super regional win. So good luck to the ladies there in Oklahoma City. It really looks like it's Oklahoma's to lose, though.
When you're only 40 miles
from home.
Yeah.
It's and so it's
that Alabama. That pitcher you're talking about, when she came in to close out the game, she was pitching against one of the best players in the nation. That girl, and she got a ground out on her.
Got a ground out. That was high drama. It really was.
It was. Bases loaded, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, bases loaded. Absolutely. It was a heck of a super regional, and to have two rivals going at it with somebody going home and somebody going to the World Series only added to the drama. Alabama baseball learned their fate on Monday, and I was texting y'all just as soon as it hit the airwaves. Tallahassee, here we come. So Alabama, after bowing out in the first game of the SEC tournament, was kind of back on the bubble a little bit. They were going to be in. It was just a matter of what the draw would be like. But I really was surprised they came in as a 2 seed. If you look at the selection committee, they leaned heavily on RPI.
Yeah, that's right.
And we'll talk more about who was kind of snubbed and left out. But Alabama will go to Tallahassee tomorrow to play UCF, and FSU and Stetson round that out. So, Tommy, you and I were talking a little bit about how you prepare for this. And the 2-3 game with Alabama UCF could go either way, but the 1-4 with FSU Stetson is pretty intriguing with history, because Stetson and FSU played a couple times this year already. So
they split, 1-1.
Yeah, we're one game down in DeLand and the other in Tallahassee. So
10-5 in DeLand and 1-0 in Tallahassee.
Okay,
FSU won it. So they got a good team. They've Achilles heel for FSU. Stetson.
So one of the things that struck me, FSU Stetson's playing the early game tomorrow.
Right.
Is that just determined that they start, or does FSU have a choice in that matter? I mean, it's going to be 95 degrees.
Maybe that's why they did it.
I don't know. I mean, you can't get the guys from South Florida to worry about about the heat. I don't know. I think sometimes it's just of trying to get the games in, and I don't know who can televise at what time. And
that may have
the
been.
ACC network's televising that. It's going to be noon.
Okay.
And then the ESPN Plus is doing the UCF Alabama
games. I wasn't sure about that because if I was FSU, I'd want the evening game just for a crowd and a draw, I would think. Right. But the flip side is you play early, then you get to have more rest before playing for around 2 games. So, but good to see postseason baseball in Tallahassee, and excited that Alabama's in town. And who knows, it might be a future conference game.
That's true.
So there's that as well. SEC meetings going on over in Destin, and listening to Greg Byrne. One of the things that we kind of touched on in the early part is what does the impact mean for these budgets relative to paying the $22 million in the power conferences, and he made a very compelling point that I think gets overlooked when we are making the comparison to the NFL. Alabama had 2 sports that produced revenue last year: football, men's basketball. He said, but unlike the NFL that has 1 team, he has 21 different teams.
Yeah. Right.
And that's going to be challenging when you've got 19 programs running in the red. And what do you do relative to all of the Title IX mandates and things of that nature? And it's not just going to be Alabama dealing with this. It's going to be every single program. But how does that reshape the NIL piece of this that's out there now with these collectives? How does that reshape your ticket pricing and filling these big stadiums up to get the money that stays in the school coffers, not to the conference, relative to the viewership? Even Greg Sankey seemed to be a little bit in process mode, because when asked, it was more of a, well, we'll see.
Yeah.
Last year we were talking about whether it was an 8-game or a 9-game schedule, and that was the huge controversy coming out of Destin. This turns it on its head a bit. It really does, and I don't know how you navigate it from an AD standpoint. I'd be curious,
you better have a real good football team and a real good basketball team to get the revenue in.
Yeah.
Because Alabama doesn't work because their football team brings in millions.
Right. I mean, it was $45 million net. But, I believe it was the Texas A&M AD, Trev Alberts, who said, we don't have a revenue problem, we have an expense problem.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Which made sense.
Which is 9% of the American people. Families, seriously.
Yeah, old Nebraska Cornhusker there, Alberts, and what do you do then when you have this expense problem? And you alluded to it. What programs may be on the chopping block if it's just a drain on the athletic budgets? And you have almost a parallel with the Olympic model of the number of sports that are being offered for student athletes, but you've got this kind of hybrid of an NFL franchise model that's also having to underwrite a number of sports.
Well, you made a great point earlier. FSU, if they do go to the Big Ten, will they even have volleyball teams then? You're talking about volleyball. Softball, I think, will survive because I think he's going to make money. I think softball is popular. But a lot of these track, they're going to have to cut some stuff.
The expense, I mean, you just the travel alone justifies wanting to stay closer to home. Unless you get these guarantees of these big, and you mentioned LSU in the previous segment. The reason LSU USC was the big draw was an intersectional matchup.
Right.
You got opening weekend, hope springs eternal. Everybody's undefeated, and you've got 2
Big Ten versus SEC.
Right. You've got the southeastern part of the United States and the western part, and they're all watching.
Yeah.
So that's a huge draw. But you get later in the season, and somebody's 6-3, and they're heading out to the West Coast. Well, maybe not so much. I mean, take the Cal-Auburn game. On paper, that's a good matchup, but who would have thought that was an ACC versus SEC matchup when that contract was drawn up?
Yeah. Right.
That's so. It's a very precarious time here when trying to figure out how this is going to morph into whatever it's going to be.
Anything happened in Destin, Alabama-wise, that got your attention?
DeBoer being there versus Saban, because Saban just kind of commanded the room and commanded the place, and
now it's Kirby.
Yeah. So DeBoer's got to find his place there among the other coaches, and so even kind of how that carried over from the spring game, seeing him lead them on the field, that was just another visual that there's been a regime change in Tuscaloosa. So not the good or bad, just different. We'll see. So how about
the old Title IX? That's why we had a lot of sports come in for the females to balance it out. So now, if you start dropping sports, Title IX comes back into effect. You gotta make sure of course, Title IX, what they've done with it is horrible. Somebody messed up Title IX. I can't remember who it was. But it starts a little higher up than us.
All right, let's talk about some of our sponsors. Break coming up at Auburn and FSU coming up. Then we got to pick some games, I guess.
Go through these regionals.
Go through the regionals real quick. All right, let's talk about some of our great people. Turpro Pest Control, you want your yard to look beautiful. Turpro Pest Control, call Patrick. He'll make it happen for you. They do a great job. There's no doubt about that. Also, Cito. Say no if they don't have Cito. It's real simple. Guess who I saw yesterday? Eric Baker owns all these Taco Bells. Great man. Hey, guess who he's with? I told him, I said, we've been using you a commercial. He's with Cito.
He's with Cito.
Yeah, absolutely, baby. Smart. He's highly intelligent.
What's the water temperature like, Tommy? Is it up in the 80s yet?
It's probably in the 80s by now.
I'm sure
there's going to be a lot of boat traffic out there, and if you're going to get out there, you better go to Cito.com. Or call your local branch, which covers Panama City and all of our bays and Port St. Joe. And you can call Brandon at 850-234-2323. That's Cito at 850-234-2323, or go to Cito.com.
Yeah, don't make a mistake. Seriously, don't get in a boat. They don't have it. Don't get in their boat. If you've got a boat, make sure you get it. It's not worth it. It truly is not worth it. Wildcat, real quick, jewelry. Tommy talked about them. They're incredible.
They took care of Tommy. They go in there and let them clean your rings like Tommy. Tommy walked in there not expecting, I don't think, to get his jewelry cleaned for free. And when they did, what did they find, Tommy? They found broken stones, facets on the
They fixed all that.
Well, I tell you what, it looks good today. It looks good.
I thought they was going to tell me to take my shirt off and they'd wash it too.
They will wash your belly ring.
Well, they're great people.
Was it Dave or Russ that asked you to take your shirt off?
They're great people. Hey, if you want a great jewelry, you need to go down there and see those guys. Anyway, very good.
Thank you for the Alabama update, Jeremy and Jason from Stevenson Air Conditioning. All right, we'll be right back. Auburn Tigers. We got to talk about FSU. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida. It's the Coach James Hale Show.
All right, now, Jeff, have you avoided James Hale at the baseball tournament?
We got to hear that.
Is he trying to hunt you down and get you access to food and drink and such?
You know what? I have not seen Coach yet. I know Tuesday was a tough day for him. He planned on coming and watching Alabama play a lot at the Hoover Met.
Weekday morning, 7 to 9. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida. For this afternoon and evening, mostly sunny and a high of 89 with wind 5 to 10 miles per hour out of the south. Clear skies tonight, very little wind and warm near 73. Sunny and 89 tomorrow with a wind around 8 miles per hour coming out of the east-southeast. 84 and some sun in the morning, but otherwise sprinkles with a gentle breeze Saturday. This is your Thursday's weather brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
So you've heard the saying that if you love your job, you'll never have to work? Well, it's true.
I've worked for Brock Lawn and Pest Control for many years. The commitment to the needs of customers
and their commitment to each employee makes Brock a company I'm very proud to be a part of.
Brock's core values are also mine. Give people more than they expect and always honor your promises.
This isn't a job, it's a service to help people live a healthier lifestyle.
Brock Lawn and Pest Control, our family protecting your family.
Hey folks, Chris Kramer with Bill Kramer GM. And the best place to listen to the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey is inside a brand new vehicle from Bill Kramer GM. And I want you to know we've got 10 times the amount of inventory on the ground as we did this time last year, and darn near all of them are discounted. So shop us online at BillKramerGM.com or visit us at the corner of Frankfurt and 23rd. We'll make it easy and take great care of you.
If aliens showed up tomorrow and said, take us to your leader, you'd bring them to the Coach James Hale Show.
Danger, Bill Robinson, danger.
Live from the J. Michael Studio on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hey, Martha, Kenny, James Garner, Glenn Manley. Glenn's daddy played at Auburn.
He did.
You waited forever to tell me that. I could have been talking about this
Well,
for
he was
7
on the
years.
freshman team, and then we had a little event called World War II. So I mean,
yeah, he wouldn't play in that big game.
He did. Crossed the pond.
A lot of Auburn fans were in town with the Gulf Coast Jam. A lot of people down here. And didn't our little girl tell us she was an Auburn fan yesterday?
Yes. Sheila, yeah.
Sheila's an Auburn girl.
Yeah.
She's from Dothan, right?
Dothan, yeah. Or if you want to say like the commercial Dothan.
Dothan, yeah. But
I
tell you what, I liked her. She was
somebody
good.
else's fan.
Was her husband was not a Auburn
Ohio
fan.
State,
Ohio
wasn't he?
State
Yeah,
Buckeye.
there you go.
Yes.
So
That's a weird combination. Buckeye.
That's a mixed marriage right there.
Up in the Phoenix City area, my first appointment to get these folks from up north coming through, and they're like, "We just came from Opelika. How do we get down?"
Yeah,
to
that's
Dothan?"
right. I know Opelika. That's right.
Hey, everything's going over in Destin today. All the big-time coaches, SEC meetings are being held over in Destin. Latest on Auburn running back Brian Batty. It's not good. He is improving, but there's a possibility he could be paralyzed the rest of his life. That's kind of the word. Anyway, I hate that. His brother was killed, and the guy's been arrested. We've already talked. I'm not going to get into that very much, but anyway, it's kind of heartbreaking. Nothing happens good after 11 o'clock, in my opinion, but especially after midnight. Hugh Freeze is over there and doing a great job bringing in players, no doubt about that. But he had this major concerns. One of them that he hit on, roster sizes. He said one of the biggest concerns for me is coming out of the SEC meetings. We're all used to practicing a certain way. And you're used to practicing a certain way and playing college football a certain way. You got 100 guys on the field. You got your 85 scholarships, and usually got about 15 to 20 or more walk-ons, depending on what university you're at. And you have one side of the field, you got the offense, first and second team offense, and some 13 guys there, not all of them, but some team guys there, against the scout team defense, which is usually freshmen and guys that are walk-ons, and guys are being redshirted. On the other side of the field, you got your first and second team defense going against the redshirt and freshman offense. They're giving you the look of the opponents you're going to play that week. So he is concerned what they're going to do with practice. He said, we're not the NFL. Our practices are physical, they're hard. NFL, some of their practice, they don't hit much during the season, and most college teams do get after it during practice. I know Georgia does it, Alabama does it. They get after each other. They practice hard. FSU, with Mickey Andrews and Bobby Bowman's coaching, they worked hard during the week. Steve Spurrier, the same way. So that is one of my biggest concerns. How are we going to handle practice? We were talking about the settlement. We can see roster size. Already talked about that, cut in half. Tommy, Glenn, let's go with you, Glenn. You coached. You're used to a certain way of practicing, and they have a lot of numbers. How are you going to do it? If they cut the rosters at NFL, you'll have, 20? What's the roster size in the NFL? 52?
52 or something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah.
So I understand where he's coming from.
Right.
You're so used to all these years practicing a certain way, and you're breaking your routine. How are you going to have a good practice if you don't have enough players?
The thing about the walk-ons are they eventually, some of them could turn into scholarship players because of the way,
remember now, they might not be scholarships if they
Right, that's what I'm saying, but they do eventually if they, but that's another way of getting kids on campus that you would like to see more of, and they just weren't quite.
Let me ask you this. You brought up a good point there. Were they allowed to have walk-ons if they're being paid? Do they have some kind of, wait a minute, I'm here practicing like everybody else. You're not paying me. You're paying all these other guys. So I'm not sure how the walk-ons in the future is going to be handled when you're talking about different type of lawsuits.
Well, it's an honor and privilege to be on the team. If you walk on.
Used to be.
Even if you pay, if it's all happens.
But
I would say
if we're following the NFL, there's no walk-ons in the NFL. They're all being paid. Yeah, they get paid.
Right. Right.
Right.
So that I see where they're coming from, but I know what you're talking about, the scholarship thing. I don't think that's going to matter anymore.
Might not.
Yeah.
No.
But talk about the practice of special teams. What are you going to do about that?
Well, used to in special teams, you had the scout guys or the walk-on guys would be the defense or the offense, depending on what you're practicing. So that takes away an element of what could already be set up and ready to go. That just takes extra time to make the regular scholarship guys have to do that. So, you do have second teamers and third teamers that could do it, but it's really convenient when you got the card and they take them down there and they set it all up, and then all you got to do is shift to that segment and ready to go instead of, okay, I need a guy here,
Right.
So
I see where Hugh Freeze is coming from.
Right,
it's going to change everything.
Right.
You what you did when we were coaching in Southern Mississippi, you'd have your freshmen all in there with the walk-ons, with the red shirts, and you had your own separate meetings like you're talking about. Right. You're watching film. Say we're playing Alabama this week and they're running the wishbone. You're watching everything you're going to do as an individual player at that position, what Alabama does. Then you have those cards they'd have up, and you get in a huddle, they show you a card, break the huddle, go play. But they had their own separate meetings, and when the first and second team guys and some of the third team guys were in their meeting rooms, everything was so organized, it was unbelievable. Right. Yep. That's going to go away. I don't know how they're going to do it with 50. I didn't play in the NFL, so I don't know how they run their practice.
Well, another thing too, if they do away with scholarship players, the chance of those kids is going to get hurt. Your good players are going to get hurt because they're practicing more. They got to practice. So, and if you go watch them, the good players, a lot of times, they're sitting on the sideline. They don't even want them to get hurt. They got a green jersey on. So that's going to happen also.
It's going to probably change the way how physical the practice is. Absolutely. It's going to change everything. And that's a great point by Hugh Freeze. All right, let's stop it here, and we'll have more in Auburn tomorrow. Tommy, what do you got for us down at FSU?
As we mentioned earlier, big regional in Tallahassee, and Seminoles have Stetson at noon on Friday. It's ACC Network. And then at 6 o'clock or 6 o'clock Eastern time, 5 o'clock our time, UCF and Alabama plays. It's on ESPN Plus. The big thing with the first game, Stetson is in Key League's Hale for FSU. They beat them 10-5, I think, the first game up in Stetson, and then they won 1-0 down in FSU won 1-0. But Stetson has a good pitching staff, and they're 40-20. And FSU is 42-15. So, and I talked to Jeremy earlier, and we talked about is Jamie Arnold, who's their number one pitcher now. Cam Leiter was the number one, but he got hurt. Now he's back. He hasn't pitched since March the 28th, but he's going to be available, they think, in some type of capacity. And Connor Whitaker is their number 3. So, do you start Jamie Arnold? Which, if they start him and he pitches like he normally does, they'll probably beat Stetson. Or do you use pitching by committee, because they got 22 pitchers on the roster,
and Link will use them.
And Jeremy and I have seen, he'll yank them out in a heartbeat. So he'll go through 7 or 8 pitchers. That's no problem for him. Did they do that to try to beat Stetson and then save the good pitchers for later? So I mean, Jeremy mentioned, we talked about the off Mike just a while ago, so that's going to be a big plus.
It's a tough thing to do, because if he pitches by committee and they win, he's brilliant. Pitches by committee and drops it. They should have thrown the ace.
That's right. You're going to lose your breaker off the bat. That's not good.
Right.
But they've got Carson Dorsey, who was an Arnold player. Him and Whitaker might share that game against Stetson. That's what they're talking about. And then Hudson Rowan is a kid from Moses. He's on staff. So they got 2 kids from Bay County on their pitching staff.
That's cool.
So anyway, it's just a matter of how that plays out. But I see where they said the second toughest regional is this regional right here with FSU. So another couple of things. The NBC is going to be televising on November the 9th at FSU at Notre Dame. That'll be 6:30 Central Standard Time.
Okay.
And FSU got the first 2 games going to be, they're the one and only game in town. They got in Dublin, Ireland, Georgia Tech. And then they come back Monday, Labor Day, and they play Boston College, I think.
I think it's BC.
Yeah, their home opener.
Tommy, do you know what time the Georgia Tech game kickoff is? I know it's over there. Noon. Okay.
Eastern. It'll be 11 o'clock our
ESPN.
time. Mm-hmm.
Okay, good.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
And then Bob Bremen, the legendary track coach and cross country, is retiring from FSU, so they'll be hiring a new track coach. But he's done wonderful things there at FSU with track.
All right,
but that's about it.
All right, let's take a break. We come back. We're going to talk about college baseball and get some picks and talk about that. A lot of games being played. All right, let's talk about some of our great people. Again, if you're down here for Gulf Coast Jam, you've all heard about it. Get out and try it. You'll love it. J. Michael's Restaurant, legendary place. J. Michael's on Thomas Drive, the best seafood, the coldest beer. Go check it out. We think you'll love it. Stevenson Air Condition, anytime, day or night, they're there for you. If it breaks down, you call them. They'll be there for you. Chuck Tucker, South Oak Towing and Closing. All real estate closings. Don't make a mistake. Use Chuck Tucker. Use South Oak Towing and Closing. They're incredible. El Rodeo, Tequila Bar and Grill. The rumor is Glenn will be down there tonight. We're not sure. We're trying to get the contract signed. I'm not sure. If you get any type of injury after you watch him dance, you might get injured. Call Chad Mitchell. Make an appointment. Go see Chad. You can listen to the legendary doctor right here Monday mornings from 7 to 9 every Monday. Chad Mitchell. Rudy's Barbecue on Bat Beach Road. Tommy, you've used them all kind of different ways. Christmas, Thanksgiving. They got the best turkey. They got the best ham. They got everything's great down at Rudy's Barbecue. Go check it out. On the way to Gulf Coast Jam, go eat at Rudy's and go have a great time. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
America's team plays here.
And a rocket to right field. This thing is into orbit.
The Atlanta Braves on ESPN Northwest Florida. Acuna, Ozzie, and Austin Riley lead the Braves' high-powered offense.
Swung on, belted, deep right field. Get out of here, Ozzie. Home run. Ball game.
The Atlanta Braves on ESPN Northwest Florida is sponsored by Brock's Pest Control. Store more portable buildings, reliable hydraulic solutions. Billburn Kia and Mid-South Lumber.
Golf is a game that should be fun, but to have the most fun, you need to play your best. That's where the experts at Golf Plus come in. Their friendly staff will guide you through the buying process, answer all your questions, and can help with any repairs you need along the way. Golf Plus is your custom fitting, club repair, and golf retail shop. Golf Plus staff is non-commissioned and will work with you to find the best product for your game, just like they've been doing since 1988. Golf Plus in Dothan and Panama City Beach. Fitting, repair, retail. That's Golf Plus.
Here at Tracy's Fine Jewelry, we're here to help you celebrate the graduate in your life. What better way to celebrate this moment in time than with an exquisite timepiece? We have a large selection of Bulova and Caravelle watches, now 15% off. Tracy's Fine Jewelry has the perfect personalized gifts, from diamond initial pendants and rings to monogram pieces they'll cherish for a lifetime. All on sale today for 30% off. Commemorate your graduate today and show them how proud you are with a gift from Tracy's Fine Jewelry on the corner of 15th Street and East Avenue in Cedar Grove.
New ownership and brand new renovations at Bayside Marina, the one-stop shop for all your boating needs in Panama City. Boat storage, valet service boat launching, pontoon rentals, non-ethanol fuel, on-site mechanic, ice, drinks, cleaning station, live bait and tackle. Our marina store is loaded. Relax and enjoy your day on the water at Bayside Marina, Big Daddy Drive, Panama City Beach, or call 850-234-7650. That's 234-7650.
Do you know who I am?
If he was the last person on Earth,
I'm kind of a big deal.
mankind would still have a chance.
We may have to repopulate the Earth.
Now back to the Coach James Hale Show.
I'm very important.
Live from the J. Michael Studio on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Real quick, one thing I wanted to get in today, and we're joined pretty quick because we want to get into some baseball, but Auburn did win the national championship in golf. They beat FSU. Congratulations to Target. I think it's Auburn's first, I could be wrong, I think it's their first national championship in golf. Mm-hmm. And we're talking about the favorites already. Oregon is actually a 1-point favorite over Ohio State in their home game against the Buckeyes. So that's kind of surprised me. What do you want to say, Wildcat?
Oh, before you got into important stuff, this is kind of important. We're coming up on our 7th year anniversary. Lucky 7. That means, we're all getting raises. and new equipment here in the studio.
Right.
Well, we'll talk about that later.
But the big news is starting Monday, June the 3rd. I hope Monday is June the 3rd. Coming up at 7:40 here on the Coach James Hale Show, 12:40 Inside Drive, and 5:40 the Afternoon Underdogs. We're going to be giving you a chance to be registered to win tickets to Atlanta Braves baseball game. The game will be against the Toronto Blue Jays Saturday, September the 7th. So we'll be giving you plenty of time to make arrangements to go to that. Hotel's going to be taken care of, food, beverages. We're going to give you a little cash to spend on souvenirs and stuff like that. And also, you're going to be sitting in amazing seats at the Xfinity Club there in the facility. We want to thank PCB Hobby and Hampton Inn and a whole bunch of other people. But that's going to start on June the 3rd and go through June the 14th. So make sure you pay attention and listen.
Can you believe that we've all
7 years.
7 years, doing this 7 years. Unbelievable. All right, what do you got for us?
All right, NCAA baseball tournament. So I'm going to set kind of the tone a little bit with some interesting little factoids before we start picking. There's always controversy about who got left out. And there are 3 teams that I think are legitimately griping about not being included in the tournament. I'll start with the TCU Horned Frogs. They did not play very well in the Big 12. They were on the bubble, but they were 33-21 and did not get their name called Monday. Cal, the Golden Bears, they were one of the biggest snubs. They won 20 of their last 25 games, including sweeping Oregon State, who is hosting a regional this weekend. They got to the semis of the Pac-12 tournament, but they were left out. And then the College of Charleston went 28-5 in their last 33 games, finished 41-14, a 21-5 conference record. Looked like they would probably get in, but they did not get in. So who got in? Well, you've got some new teams that are getting into the party for the first time as participants. High Point, Niagara, Northern Kentucky, all making their first appearances in the tournament. High Point out of North Carolina, 34-25, Big South Conference winners. And look forward to seeing Northern Kentucky and Niagara there as well. So other interesting little things to note. Who's hot going into this? This may help you with your picks.
The ones that didn't get in.
Yeah, they're hot. That's right.
Yeah.
2 hottest teams in considerably, probably UC Santa Barbara, Big West winners, 25-0 at home. Just keep that in mind here. So they have not lost. San Diego, West Coast Conference champion, also playing very well. Who's not hot? Arkansas and Georgia have both lost 3 straight, all against SEC opponents. So they look to flip the momentum. The number 1 seed has not won the championship since 1999. Tennessee hopes to break that this year. East Carolina, also in, has never reached the College World Series. 33 tries, 0 appearances in Omaha, and they are in the field. And Clemson has never won the national championship or finished as a runner-up in 45 previous appearances. So toughest regional, no doubt it's Tucson. You've got Arizona hosting, Grand Canyon, Dallas Baptist, and West Virginia all heading out west. So just a few little things to consider as we get into helping you consider who you're going to pick as those going on to play in the Supers next weekend. So let's start in Knoxville. Number 1 overall seed, Tennessee.
That's right.
Number 2 seed, Southern Mississippi.
41 wins. Only 8 teams have ever done this.
Yeah, Tennessee has hit the long ball, 147 home runs, and
I'm sorry. Southern Miss won 40-plus games 8 years in a row. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Southern Miss 13-6 versus the tournament field. This is their 8th straight year. Then you have Indiana out of the Big Ten and Northern Kentucky that we mentioned previously. So Northern Kentucky to play Tennessee, Southern Miss, Indiana. Who do y'all have surviving the weekend in Knoxville?
I'm going to take Southern Miss.
Okay, Glenn got Southern.
I hope it is. I really do. But I think it's going to be Tennessee.
I got Tennessee pressing on.
Glenn, I thank you for that support, though.
No orange
I
sucks
want
like
to
a
take
big orange.
Tennessee, but I think I'm going to take Southern Miss too.
Tommy going with Southern Miss.
I hope y'all are right.
All right. So Coach and I got Tennessee. Tommy and Glenn have Southern Miss. Move to Lexington. Lexington, home of University of Kentucky, the overall 2 seed, welcoming the Indiana State Sycamores, the Illinois Fighting Illini, and Western Michigan coming in. Tough regional, sneaky regional. Who's Indiana State's most famous alum?
Larry Bird.
Larry Bird, that's right. And they are in the postseason for the 4th time in the last 5 seasons. They actually hosted a regional last year.
Wow.
Yeah. So I like Indiana State to come in and knock Kentucky right on out.
No way.
I'm taking Kentucky all the way.
Kentucky all the way.
Kentucky all the way.
SEC, brother.
Okay.
I got Kentucky also.
Kentucky.
Jeremy usually pretty sharp on this stuff. Yeah, he's in his research.
Don't count them out here.
Well, listen, just get ready for James to call you and tell you he's going to
change his
change
pick
it.
here at the game 1 here. Okay.
First pitch. Yeah.
Then the overall 3 seed. Do y'all see a theme here? This is College Station now.
I do.
SEC.
Okay, so Texas A&M is the overall 3 seed. Louisiana coming in, the Raging Cajuns. Texas as the 3 seed, and then Grambling. So that 2-3 game is fascinating with Louisiana playing Texas. I mean, that one could be a toss of a coin.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
I'm taking A&M.
I'm got A&M holding serve.
Me too.
At home. Okay.
You don't think Texas can pull the upset?
I don't know if they can beat Louisiana. That's
all right.
If they get past Louisiana, the Longhorns are, but don't count out the
Who you got, Glenn?
I got Texas A&M.
Texas A&M.
Well, I want to know one thing. Who goes to Southern Miss and doesn't pick his alma mater?
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't pick.
Well, we're trying to win, aren't we?
Yeah.
I'm just doing what.
Oh, so they're not going to try to win?
All right, can I leave my pick the same?
He'll call you later.
We got a lot of Southern Miss alumni throughout the panel floor. Thank you guys for embarrassing me.
Okay.
Well, I got a text message from somebody who's important in your life.
I know who it is.
So
Trader.
I saw Tennessee play. I hadn't seen Southern that much.
The 4 seed, overall 4 seed, in University of North Carolina, they are welcoming LSU and Wofford, and then LIU, the Blackbirds coming in.
North Carolina's pretty good now.
They're real good.
Yeah.
I'm going to go LSU. I'm sticking with the SEC.
You'll stay with the SEC.
Tough schedule.
North Carolina all the way.
You going with all favorites.
Okay,
No,
Tommy.
North Carolina's good. I've seen him play.
Tommy going UNC.
Good.
I think UNC is going to win. LSU's playing good ball, but I think UNC gets it
Who
done.
you got, Glenn?
I got North Carolina, ACC, baby.
All right.
Now, I will say, on average, 11 of the 16 host seeds win. So there are always some upsets each year, where they don't make it out of the weekend. But I don't think this happens in Chapel Hill. The 5 seed, Arkansas, playing La Tech, Kansas State, and Southeast Missouri State. I think this was a very favorable draw for Arkansas.
Absolutely.
Really do.
Say those teams again, because that
La Tech, Kansas State, and Southeast Missouri State.
Arkansas.
They'll wipe that out.
Yeah. So it could have been tougher. I mean, we talked about how Clemson
Jerry Jones picked that.
had to.
Yeah.
And then we mentioned how the cheers went up when Vanderbilt got sent to Clemson. I mean, it's kind of the same thing. I mean, Arkansas should have had a tougher draw. There's some teams that could have gone into Fayetteville, but it didn't happen. All right, this is a fascinating regional in Clemson, South Carolina. Clemson, Vanderbilt, Coastal Carolina, whose coach is retiring at the end of this season. So now they're playing for a whole different.
Oh, yeah. I wonder what their record is. I don't know the record.
Let's see if I can pull. And then High Point playing for the first time here. But the Vandy boys have not been the Vandy boys of the past, but they're still Vanderbilt.
Right.
Clemson has been able to knock on the door, but they've never really been able to go on through. Coastal Carolina has.
They've
been there. They've done it. And I'm sure Mulvey is out there cheering on them.
He is.
So
he still sends big money there.
So
big booster.
Does Clemson hold their own, or do they get upset by one of these other
Clemson.
two?
I'm going with Clemson.
I'm going Clemson.
Clemson, okay.
ACC, baby.
Coach going with Clemson.
I'm
SEC.
going to go with Clemson also.
All right, going with Clemson. I tell you what, I'm going with Coastal Carolina. I just think they're going to play. I got a 3 seed going on. So, okay, Athens Regional, Georgia, UNC Wilmington, Georgia Tech, and Army.
Georgia. I got Georgia.
Georgia?
Yep.
Yeah.
I want to pick Georgia Tech.
Georgia Tech's got a good team.
Okay.
They're not bad.
Georgia Tech's solid. And you just throw it out the window when you got your arch rival over there.
Right. So you got...
I'm gonna go with UGA, but it would not surprise me to see a 3 seed Georgia Tech come out of it.
Kirby's gonna throw the first pitch out, so they win.
All right, in the 8 seed.
Wait a minute, hold your thoughts right there. We got to take a break.
Okay,
come back and finish up.
Oh, good. We got about halfway.
Let's talk about some of our great people. One of Glenn's favorite places, Rudy's Barbecue. He always uses them for cater events, especially when he was the AD at Bay. Glenn, you always had great success with him.
Absolutely. I tell you what, all you got to do is call them, tell them how many, and they, what you would like to have, but then they also take care of anything. If you're undecided, they make great picks for you.
Another place you love, Beef O'Brady's over in Lynn Haven. Pat's such a wonderful, wonderful man. Great city commissioner in Lynn Haven. His restaurant's incredible. You walk in, people are smiling, happy. They got a 10 for 10 going. You go and watch all these games right there. Beef O'Brady's, have a great time. Great atmosphere, wonderful place. Beef O'Brady's in Lynn Haven. We already talked about Paparazzi Gourmet Deli. If you love pizzas, that's the only place you need to know about. Paparazzi right there on Thomas Drive. Max Fit Sports Nutrition. You'll look better, feel better. Jason Kovaleski can make it happen for you. Dr. Ward, he did a great job with me yesterday. He found something. 5 minutes can save your life. You go see Dr. Ward offices throughout Northwest Florida. Get out to newbies, have a great time. And don't forget about your yard. You want it to look beautiful? Turf Pro Pest Control can make it happen for you. Be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
It's the PCB Hobby Takeover with Todd. Mondays at 5:20 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
That is a very high-end card and very rare.
Todd talks about coins, trading cards, collectibles, and the amazing stories behind them.
It was the first one that's ever come through my door.
Plus, we'll be taking your calls and questions at 850-215-6290. The PCB Hobby Takeover.
A platform for you to do your hobby.
Mondays at 5:20 on the Sports Talk Monster. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida. For this afternoon and evening, mostly sunny and a high of 89 with wind 5 to 10 miles per hour out of the south. Clear skies tonight, very little wind and warm near 73. Sunny and 89 tomorrow with a wind around 8 miles per hour coming out of the east-southeast. 84 and some sun in the morning, but otherwise sprinkles with a gentle breeze Saturday. This is your Thursday's weather brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Hey there, folks. Looking for a place that feels like home right in the heart of Panama City? Well, look no further than Charlie Corm's place at their new location on 15th Street. Charlie Corm's is not just a place, it's an experience. Imagine cozy corners, friendly faces, and the aroma of delicious dishes that'll make your taste buds dance. From sunrise breakfast to late night bites, Charlie Corm's on 15th Street has it all. Charlie Corm's place on 15th Street is now offering exclusive weekday lunch specials. Visit Charlie Corm's place on 15th Street. Look for the giant mural.
Are you looking for a place to take a leak? Do you have a truck, tractor, or other hydraulic equipment leaking or not performing as it should? At Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, we can get you back to work. Do you have a busted or leaking hose? We can typically replace them while you wait. Hydraulic cylinder or pump needing repair? In many cases, we can have it back to you the next day. Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, 6840 Highway 77 in Southport, just south of Tractor Supply. The best place in town to take a leak.
He doesn't try on clothes at the department stores. He just rips stuff off the hanger and lives with the consequences for years.
It's classy, it's intriguing. He's sexy, sassy, and full of spunk.
Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michaels Studio. ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Tommy Cinemite, Glenn Manley, Jeremy Prison, and Wildcat all here. Be careful. Gulf Coast Jam. People will be walking. Cross Back Beach Road. Drive safely, drive slow, don't drink and drive. Have a great time at Gulf Coast Jam. All right, Jeremy, let's finish up.
Glenn and I were looking at each other like we were about to make the call to the bullpen.
That's right.
Bring us back in.
You
play ball.
That's right. Here we go.
All right. Tallahassee Regional, Florida State, Alabama, UCF, Stetson. We've talked about this one a lot. I've got the Seminoles, surviving the weekend.
Seminoles.
FSU.
Okay, so still
we all agree.
All in agreement on that one. In the next one, I think we'll be equally quick to pick this one. Norman, Oklahoma, Duke, UConn, and Oral Roberts. Give me the Sooners.
Duke.
Whoa. Okay. Tommy going to stay conference loyal.
Well, yeah, I'm going to say Duke also.
Okay.
They're on a good team. They drilled
I watched
FSU.
them play FSU. They hit, how many grand slams they
No,
hit?
but that guy Miller hit one about 9 miles.
Yeah, he killed it, man. Who you got?
I got Oklahoma out there.
SEC. I got Oklahoma.
If it were,
they're not
Duke is good.
They're Duke's
good.
This Raleigh regional's fascinating. North Carolina State, South Carolina, James Madison, and Bryant.
NC State's pretty good.
I think NC State holds serve, but South Carolina's played better of late.
They're hitting the ball now.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm gonna stick with NC State.
I'm sticking with NC State.
NC State all the way.
Yeah.
NC State all the way through. Okay, so
and they're tough at home.
That's another one we've all picked together. The 11th seed in the tournament, Stillwater, Oklahoma State.
Come on, Gators.
Oklahoma State, Nebraska, Florida, and Niagara.
Florida's got a shot.
I like Florida in this one.
I do too. I do too.
I really do.
Nebraska's kind of sneaky, but I still like Florida.
I say Florida.
I've got a 3 seed. Give me the Gators.
Yep.
So
I got Oklahoma State.
Okay, Tommy.
I knew it.
I couldn't do that.
And who you got, Glenn?
I have Florida, even though I hate to say it, but
thank you, Glenn.
So 3 of us have the Gators as the 3 seed coming out of there.
It just gives me the heebie-jeebies.
This means more.
This means more. Charlottesville, Virginia, Mississippi State, St. John's, and Penn.
I'm going Mississippi State.
I'm going with Virginia.
Mississippi State's gone in there and won that regional before.
I got Mississippi State.
Who you got,
Virginia.
Tommy? Virginia?
Virginia.
Okay.
I got Robert E. Lee. No, I got Virginia.
Virginia.
I do too.
And I do think this is not Mississippi State's year. So I'm
Who'd you go with?
I went with the Cavaliers.
I'm going Mississippi State.
In Tucson, I think this regional's brutal.
This is
brutal. Arizona, Dallas Baptist, West Virginia, Grand Canyon, any one of them could win it.
I'm going with Dallas Baptist. They got a great
That's
pitcher.
exactly my pick.
Me too.
Dallas, DBU. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Okay.
All right.
So we all have the 2 seed winning out west there. Santa Barbara. UC Santa Barbara undefeated at home, West Coast champion with San Diego in town, as well as Oregon and Fresno State.
UC Santa Barbara is who I'm going
I
with.
do think UC Santa Barbara.
Tommy and our scouting report's exactly the same. Good job, Tommy.
I got the same.
Okay, so we all have Santa Barbara.
Yeah.
That's going to be a great regional. 15 seed Corvallis regional. Oregon State, UC Irvine.
They're pretty good.
They are 15th nationally. Nichols and Tulane. So
UC Irvine.
Sounds good to me.
UC Irvine.
Wow, Tommy, you and I are tracking the same way. I got UC.
We're not going to track the same way this next one, though.
Irvine. All right. Who you got, Glenn?
Same thing, UC Irvine.
UC Irvine. I don't like Oregon State. So
Keep it the same.
UC Irvine. Interestingly enough, before we pick the 16th bracket there, 7 teams from North Carolina and 6 teams from Louisiana made the tournament.
Wow.
So 13 of your 64 teams come from those 2 states.
Wow.
You wouldn't think North Carolina, but I
I think it'd be
Louisiana.
Texas or Florida, you know?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, but that's and you got 2 Louisiana teams out in Corvallis.
Yeah.
Nichols,
Good athletes from those states.
And then Greenville Regional. Number 16, East Carolina is the host. The big bad Power 5 Wake Forest Demon Deacons coming in to play there. Virginia Commonwealth and Evansville.
Wake Forest.
You and I are tracking well. Great.
I'm surprised you.
Yeah.
I'm taking Wake Forest.
I've got Wake Forest.
Did you say East Carolina's never done very well in these things?
They've never gotten to the series. They have gotten to the supers.
Yeah, Wake Forest.
Wake Forest.
Right. Me too.
Yeah.
We picked a lot of the same ones.
You did.
I think I beat y'all. I think I'm going to win this.
Well, that's because
you should have picked Southern Miss. I cannot believe you didn't pick Southern Miss.
I wanted to. In my heart, I picked them, but I watched Tennessee. I think Tennessee.
Do you know anything about Southern Miss?
Yeah, they're good. They're good. They beat Ole Miss. They're good. There's no doubt. They're really good.
Did you go to Southern Miss?
Yes. Thank you, Tommy.
Well, sometimes
Who did you pick? Did you pick Southern or Tennessee? I picked Tennessee.
I've got Tennessee.
Y'all both picked Southern?
Yes.
All right.
No, let me back up. Julie went to Southern Miss. You were just there.
I didn't say what I got there. I was there. Yeah. I spent time there.
Julie got tired of doing those papers for you.
Yeah, no.
That's true.
Hey,
she wasn't the only one either.
SAT looked like bowling scores, didn't it?
Well, if you look down the line, and we'll obviously repick it with the Supers next weekend, but you've got some compelling matchups. Potential Tennessee Wake Forest Super.
Oh, okay.
That one would be interesting. Potential Texas A&M UC Santa Barbara Super. Mm-hmm. That would be very cool to see. FSU Oklahoma could match again. Yeah. That's matched it up. And I don't know if these committees do this on purpose, but we've seen some overlap.
I know.
With these regionals, and I don't know. Arkansas, Virginia would be a potential super. Dallas Baptist, UNC, a potential super regional.
Are you planning on going to Nebraska this year to watch this?
Not this year, no.
Okay.
No, I've got
Glenn, have you ever been out there?
I've been out there. It's been a long time ago, but back when the Rosenblatt Stadium.
Was it worth it? I mean,
It is an incredible experience.
I've been through Nebraska.
No, but you've been everywhere, man. Johnny Cash. Hey, see this? This is interesting, Jeremy. See this? Look.
No, we can't see it.
Oh, well, alligator. Yeah. So, speaking of the Gators, if UF does go, if UF does go out to Stillwater, that could set up a Florida Clemson Super Regional.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
That'd be a good game.
Be a good one there. Right. And obviously, if any of the host seeds get knocked out or the top 8 get knocked out, then who hosts a super gets kind of in the hands of the NCAA at that point.
Right.
But it'll be a fun weekend of baseball if you like college baseball, and
also softball's going on too.
Softball, Women's College World Series going on. So a lot of great athletes.
Let's talk about that tomorrow.
Is the bracket set up where the host? If the host wins the regional, they automatically host the super?
1 through 8, yeah. It's set up that way. Yeah. And so if if a lower seed gets in, and because one of the 1 through 8 loses, let's just say, like I picked Indiana State to beat Kentucky, and they're in the 2-15, UC Irvine would host. So,
Jeremy, what's going on down in church? Talk about it. Everything going good?
Yeah, going well. First United Methodist Church, Panama City. We're into summer. We've got our Monday nights for our kids for kind of our vacation Bible school. We're doing it once, Monday nights. If you're interested, check us out on our Facebook page or website, fumc-pc.org. So,
Tommy, you out next Thursday? Are you going to be out?
I'll be going.
You'll be going to the mountains, right?
Yellowstone.
If
you want to hear a great preacher, Jeremy's your man.
No doubt.
You need to come to the First United Methodist Church. He's a good one.
I've seen him on TV. He's good.
Yeah. I heard about him in Montgomery. And to be the preacher there, you had to be great. And he's getting close to home. He's coming close to home.
Yeah. Well, when he gets to First Methodist Church of Weewall, he'll be home.
You're going to be with us tomorrow. Can you run the softball one like he did, like name the teams?
Yeah, I can do that.
Pick up. I can do
that. Yep.
Is Alabama still in it? I didn't even kept up with them.
Softball, yeah.
They're still okay.
They get to play Oklahoma.
They're playing in 2 hours.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so hopefully we'll be talking good about
who they play.
tomorrow.
I forgot.
UCLA.
That's out
just
there
as good.
too, right?
Yeah.
Is that out there?
No, it's Oklahoma City.
Everybody's in Oklahoma City.
That's right. They're the World Series. Yeah, God, dog, forgive me. Real quick, I wanted to get this in here. If it Okeechobee, be careful. They caught a gator eating livestock there. They killed it. 15 foot, 800 pounds.
What was it eating?
Livestock, cattle.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite meals.
Yeah, we do too. That's a deal. That's very good.
I don't like gators anymore. Hey, have a great weekend. If you're going to Gulf Coast Jam, have a great time. Please drive carefully. And remember, if you're on Bad Beach Road, there will be people crossing.
Give a shout out to Joni and Reggie for listening to us today.
All right, we're out. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida, available on all your devices.
Connected.
Hear your favorite sports talk hosts.
The Coach James Hale Show. You're listening to Inside Drive live. The afternoon underdog.
And your favorite teams.
Braves win it!
We're live on the app. Tune in, Alexa, ESPNPC.com, Facebook, YouTube, and in your car at 101.9 and 104.3. Wherever you go, there we are. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida. For this afternoon and evening, mostly sunny and a high of 89 with wind 5 to 10 miles per hour out of the south. Clear skies tonight, very little wind and warm near 73. Sunny and 89 tomorrow with a wind around 8 miles per hour coming out of the east-southeast. 84 and some sun in the morning, but otherwise sprinkles with a gentle breeze Saturday. This is your Thursday's weather brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
At Panama City Toyota, summer starts now. And you'll get 2.99% APR plus 90 days until you make your first payment on a new Camry. Get 2.99% on the fun-to-drive Corolla. Stand out and get 2.99% on a new RAV4. Or go bold and get 2.99% on the tough Tundra. Celebrate summer with a great deal from Panama City Toyota.
Offer expires June 3rd. Visit PanamaCityToyota.com.
Hey there, business owners. Do you feel lost in a sea of numbers, struggling to navigate your day-to-day accounting? At Lighthouse CPAs, they specialize in guiding businesses to make more money and keep more of what you make. From bookkeeping to tax planning, they've got you covered. Plus, with their user-friendly software, managing your finances has never been easier. Spend less time on paperwork and more time growing your business. Call Lighthouse CPAs 850-785-5254.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WVLQ Port St. Joe. Powered by Panama City Toyota.
And that's out of the ballpark.